Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
He was
Good evening, sir.
Good
I think
afternoon,
you can
sir.
see me now. Good afternoon. Everybody, can you hear me? Can you see me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Are we ready for the role play? Are you guys ready for your role play? Remember what your role play was going to be? You and your partner. One of you will be an interviewer, a journalist, and the other will be an examiner, right? If you guys are ready for this, then we can go ahead. You guys had an extra day to prepare. Who was your partner, Zafri? Who? Rukaiya, she's absent. And guys, are we ready? Sabah, who was your partner?
Not
Who?
Sabah.
Okay. Sabah and Hina. Are you guys partners?
No, sir, I'm not ready because
Uh,
I didn't attend the class until in.
yes. Yeah, you guys were at Rosemary Lane, I think. Sana and Afreen, are you guys ready? I think we'll have to skip this exercise. Let's move on to the next thing then. Vocabulary and listening section. What's the weather going to be like? I would expect you guys to be prepared tomorrow. You have another 24 hours, or if not tomorrow, maybe on Monday. You have to, I've already explained what the homework is. You have to choose a partner from the class and together write an interview where there is an interviewer asking an examiner some questions, and you have to role play that conversation here in the class. Okay, vocabulary and listening section. What's the weather going to be like? Look at the weather map of Europe and name some of the countries. This is the weather map of Europe. Can you name some of the countries? Any? This is London. This is England, right? And the capital is London. And here we have France. The capital is Paris. Nice is also a city in the south of France. Nice is a city in the south of France. This at the bottom here in the south is Spain. This is Spain. Okay, Madrid is the capital of Spain. And below Spain, you see Portugal. Okay, Portugal is another country. Its capital is Lisbon. We all know next to France is Germany. That's why Germany attacked France and defeated it, captured it completely in the Second World War. Okay, this is Germany. And next to Germany, this is Poland. Warsaw is the capital of Poland. And below that, we have Hungary. Yeah, this is Budapest, the capital of Hungary. And here, this is Rome. Rome is the capital of Italy. Italy supported Germany in the Second World War. This is Athens. Athens is the capital of Greece. And then here you see Istanbul, which is not the capital of Turkey. People think it is the capital, but it is not the capital. It is one of the most popular cities in Turkey, but it is not the capital. The capital is called Ankara. And this is Turkey. Turkey joins Europe and Asia. Turkey is right in the middle of Asia and Europe. And you might have heard about the latest development of a corridor between India, Middle East, and Europe. Europe. This corridor, if it becomes functional within 3 years or 4 years, in case, it will change India's economy and economy of many other countries. According to experts' opinion, if this corridor becomes functional, then it will give an advantage to India over China in this region. Because China has already invested a lot of money in that Road and Belt Initiative, China's Road and Belt Initiative, which is the biggest headache for India because they are going through our Kashmir, which is occupied by Pakistan, and they are using some parts of it to build their roads. India can do nothing about it militarily. So this is the latest thing that that has been in the news. Istanbul, Turkey is a bit annoyed that I'm a very important country to link Asia and Europe, and I have been left out of this deal. Not good. So they made a comment that it's not possible without Turkey. You have to include us. Well, there is nothing wrong with including Turkey. It would be good for India to include Turkey, because when you get a chance to do something that can change hostility, because Turkey and India do not share very good relationships, international relationships. Many times when I met some people from, not all times, but many times I met people from Turkey. When they asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from India. Next moment, the conversation ended. It happened on multiple occasions. Next moment, the conversation ended. No more conversation, no more questions, no more questions. It's there, right there. But not all. Many people do continue. They like India. They like a lot of things about it. But some, right there, ended their conversation. Where are you from? India. No more conversation. I'm writing, hey, where are you? Oh, no response. I wrote to one person, I'm sorry that you didn't like where I'm from. Okay. Moscow, everybody knows, is the capital of Russia. Russia is partly in, what do you call it? Europe, and partly in Asia as well. Yeah, that's why it is called Eurasia. Okay. Listen to the weather forecast, guys. Oslo, Oslo, Oslo is the capital of Sweden. Is it Sweden? Oslo is the capital of which country? Oslo is the capital of which country? Norway.
Capital of Norway. According to Oslo Homemade, Oslo is the capital of Norway and the country's largest city with over 600
inhabitants.
This is Norway's biggest city. Oslo is the biggest city in Norway. And what is the population? 650,000. And this is the biggest city. 650,000, 650,000 people. Bihar Sharif has 4 lakh people. And their biggest city has 650,000 people. Okay. Once a person said about India, Indians breed like rabbits. Indians breed like rabbits. Who made this comment? I think it was the Prime Minister of England when India, before India's independence, Churchill said that Indians breed like rabbits. Okay. Breed matlab bachche paida karna. Okay. BREED. But it is usually used for animals. Human beings don't breed. Human beings are born and human beings give birth. Okay. But we use the word breed for animals. This is insulting language. Okay, listen to the weather forecast. Write the temperatures on the map. Some temperatures are already written, right? And some temperatures are missing. You are going to write the temperatures on the map. And by the end of this audio file, you should figure out which season it is. So pay attention to every line very carefully, because this question, which season is it, is an important question for you. Pay attention to every line there. And what month do you think it is? That is not an important question. Write the temperatures and which season is it? I'm playing the audio for you. 11.8.
What's the weather going to be like?
And here's Carol with the weather forecast for Europe.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, at the moment, there's some wet and windy weather over the UK and Scandinavia, and this is going to move to the east over Poland and Germany. Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are about 21 degrees Celsius right now, but it's cooler in London, more like 18 degrees, and cooler still in Oslo, around 17 there. Further east, it's cool and cloudy in Moscow, where the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees after all the extreme summer heat there. To the south, it's a bit warmer, 23 degrees in Budapest, and even warmer as we get further south, so 26 degrees in Rome. But it's going to be cloudy and showery across the north of Italy before long, so temperatures aren't going to stay as high there. In northern Turkey, there's some heavy rain, and it's already getting stormy, so temperatures won't get much higher than 21 degrees in Istanbul. France is going to be cool and cloudy in the north, 20 degrees in Paris, but much warmer and sunnier in the south, with a high of 27 degrees in Nice. The rest of the Mediterranean is going to be warm and dry too. Portugal and Spain will see plenty of late summer sunshine, with temperatures as high as 29 degrees in Madrid and Lisbon. It's going to be warmer still in Greece, and we're probably going to reach 30 degrees in Athens. And that's your European weather for the next 24 hours. I'll be back at lunchtime with an update.
Thanks, Carol. And now, the news headline.
Have you written down the temperatures on the map? Did you figure out which season it is? Okay. Maybe listening to it the second time will help you. So let's listen to it one more time. Pay attention to every detail.
11.8. What's the weather going to be like?
And here's Carol with the weather forecast for Europe.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, at the moment, there's some wet and windy weather over the UK and Scandinavia, and this is going to move to the east over Poland and Germany. Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are about 21 degrees Celsius right now, but it's cooler in London, more like 18 degrees, and cooler still in Oslo, around 17 there. Further east, it's cool and cloudy in Moscow, where the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees after all the extreme summer heat there. To the south, it's a bit warmer, 23 degrees in Budapest, and even warmer as we get further south, so 26 degrees in Rome. But it's going to be cloudy and showery across the north of Italy before long, so temperatures aren't going to stay as high there. In northern Turkey, there's some heavy rain, and it's already getting stormy, so temperatures won't get much higher than 21 degrees in Istanbul. France is going to be cool and cloudy in the north, 20 degrees in Paris, but much warmer and sunnier in the south, with a high of 27 degrees in Nice. The rest of the Mediterranean is going to be warm and dry too. Portugal and Spain will see plenty of late summer sunshine, with temperatures as high as 29 degrees in Madrid and Lisbon. It's going to be warmer still in Greece, and we're probably going to reach 30 degrees in Athens. And that's your European weather for the next 24 hours. I'll be back at lunchtime with an update.
Thanks, Carol. And now, the news headline.
Which city is going to be the hottest in next 24 hours? Or which country is going to be the hottest? Greece is going to be the hottest in next 24 hours. What's going to be the temperature there? What's the temperature going to be there? What's the temperature going to be there? No. What's the temperature going to be in Greece, Athens? 30 degrees. With 30 degrees, Greece is going to be the hottest country in next 24 hours. Okay. Did you figure out what season it is? Oh, good guess. Very good guess. But it is not rainy season. Okay. Rainy season exists in India. Okay. the season, rainy season, exists in India and some other countries which are in this tropical region. Okay. Many countries do not have a lot of rain in those 2-3 months like in India. So in English, we basically say 4 seasons. Summer, spring, summer, autumn, winter. So how many of you noticed that this is after the summer season? So it is autumn. So your guess was good, because in India, we have the rainy season after the summer season. So your guess was very, very correct. Okay. If you noticed, look at these adjectives here: sunny, rainy, windy, snowy, cloudy, foggy, showery, stormy. These are some adjectives which describe they describe mainly weather conditions. They describe weather conditions. When you describe weather to someone, how's the weather, okay? Then you use these adjectives to describe the weather. So can you please match these adjectives and the symbols here? Number 1, what does it look like to you? Very good. 2. If you can't do 2, no problems. We can go to 3.
Windy.
Number 3 is windy, everybody. Number 3 is windy, okay? As you can see, the clouds are moving, okay? Number 4, what do you think about number 4?
Foggy.
All right, foggy. All right, foggy. 5.
Rainy.
Rainy. All right. Okay. Okay. 6.
Snowy.
Snowy. Okay. 7.
Cloudy.
Cloudy. And last,
Sorry.
cloudy. Okay. Just like a shower. Okay. Okay. So there isn't much of a difference between rainy and showery. It's just that, rainy, when it's not very big, very strong, very heavy, we say showery, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can still call it rainy, no problems. Light rain, showery weather. Okay. It means there will be a little bit of rain. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's look at exercise 3. We have some more adjectives. Okay, wait, before we go to number 3, we want to look at exercise 2 adjectives once again. When the sun is out, we call it sunny. 3, when there is a lot of wind, we call it windy. 4, when there is fog, we call it foggy. So when do we have foggy weather? In winter season. Okay. Which one? We don't have foggy in November at all these days.
No, sir, January.
End of December and early January, first week, second week of January. Okay, we have foggy mornings mainly. Okay, 5, rainy. So we have rainy weather, a lot of rainy weather. Okay, when? In August, in July, in September. However, this September, we are not getting enough rain, so much rain here in Bihar. Today is the 15th of September, and we've had only one big rain this month. A couple of days ago, last week perhaps. 6 is snowy. We never get snowy weather in Bihar. Okay, well, if you're thinking of those cubes, round balls, they are called hailstones. They are not called snow. Okay, so we don't have snowy weather in Bihar. We don't get. If you want to experience snowy weather, you need to go further north towards Kashmir. There you can see some. Yeah, and Darjeeling. Do we have snow in Darjeeling? Very rarely. Darjeeling is famous for its rain. Yes. Mainly, you have to go to the further north towards that, Kashmir and Ladakh region, there you will have some snow. Yeah, only there you will have some snow. Otherwise, it's very rare elsewhere. Okay, 7, cloudy. When the sun is hidden, the clouds have covered the sun. That weather is called cloudy. And last, showery. Okay, when there is a little bit of rain, the weather is showery here. Okay. So these are adjectives which describe the weather. Okay, you guys have any questions to ask? Number 2 is you're left with thundery, stormy, okay? So if the weather is thundery or stormy, then there is thunderstorm, storm when you see dark clouds, lightning, as you can see in the symbol, a lot of rain, of course. You don't get to see lots of dark clouds and lightning without rain. There will be a lot of rain, very strong wind, thunder and lightning, and that in Hindi we call tufan. And that kind of weather is called stormy weather. It was a stormy night. It was I was stuck in the office.
Why it was stormy?
Yes. So stormy is an adjective, stormy. Okay, stormy is, if you notice, we have removed the y and you will get the nouns. Sun, rain, wind, snow, cloud, fog, shower, storm. You have nouns and you added y and you got an adjective. Okay. So it's a very common pattern in English to put a y to a noun and you get an adjective. Fun, funny. Okay, you have that. Okay. There are other ways as well, but this is one of those ways to change a noun into an adjective. Okay. So now I think we can move on to number 3. In number 3, we have some more adjectives. But these adjectives do not describe the weather. These adjectives describe the temperature in a way. Yes or no? Take a look. Hot, warm, cold, cool. These 4, first of all, describe the temperatures clearly. Now, sometimes you want to understand the difference between hot and warm, right? So remember, when you are happy with the weather, it is not hot. It is warm maybe, but not hot. So when the temperature is good, you are happy about it. Okay, it is on the higher side, but you're happy with it. Then you call it warm. So when you call it a warm day, you mean to say that it's a good day. Okay, but when you say it's a hot day, you're complaining about it. So hot is negative, warm is positive. Okay. When it comes to weather, I'm talking about the weather. Otherwise, if you describe a woman, you're saying hot, then you're giving her a compliment in your own way, right? Warm is not used to describe people's appearance and personality. Warm is used to describe people as well. These adjectives, it means you're feeling good. Very nice example. Thank you. When you say, I'm feeling warm after wearing the sweater, it means you are happy that you are wearing the sweater. And when you say, I'm feeling hot after wearing the sweater, then you are unhappy. You don't want to keep the sweater on. You want to take it off. Children complain, I'm feeling hot, right? And sometimes you feel good about wearing the sweater. Then you say, yeah, it feels warm now. Yeah, I'm feeling warm now. Okay. So warm and hot, I hope you understood. The difference, it's about how you feel about the temperature. Cold and cool have the same difference. When you describe the weather as cold, then you are unhappy about it. And when you describe the weather cool, it was a cool summer evening. You were happy that it was cool, right? It was a cool summer evening. All right, it was a cold winter night. It was a cold winter night. I was in bed and I felt like doing pee-pee. All right, going to the washroom. Okay. Wet. Wet word also describes weather, which clearly means, which means rainy type, chipchipa type, okay, humid weather, wet, okay, wet, when the humidity is very high, your skin, when you touch your skin, you don't like it, you don't want even your girlfriend to touch your hands, sticky feeling, that's wet, and you can have wet weather, you can describe when it is, like sometimes in the winter season, you have some water droplets falling. It's not rain, but when you keep something out, then you see it becomes wet. In the winter, in the month of January, in the morning, type things, okay? Even during the daytime, you put something outside and it will become wet. So that weather, you're saying that something falls from the sky as well, little droplets of water, but it is not rain. So wet and cold. It is wet and in the month of January, first week, it's wet and cold. Cold and wet. It's cold and wet. Okay. If somebody says wet season, then they mean to say rainy season or summer season? Rainy season, clearly. So the word wet can be used to mean a lot of things, okay? It could mean rainy as well. It could mean that kind of weather which you have in January, first week. You walk on the road and you feel like your shirt is slightly wet, okay? You don't enjoy cold and wet weather. But in India, because it is for some time, we don't mind, right? Because our winters are short. So for most people, I'm not talking about very poor people, but except for the very poor people, winter season is like a nice thing for most of us. We enjoy that short break from the summer heat, because in India, we have 9-10 months of very much, hot weather. It starts in the month of February. Nowadays, the way it is these days, I'm not talking about my childhood 20-30 years ago. Nowadays, February is hot. 25th of January, it doesn't feel like cold at all. First 10th of February, 15th of February is very hot. People don't want to go out nowadays. Okay. So dry, no humidity. Middle East, Rajasthan, in summer, it's so dry, no rain. Lack of rain is dry weather, okay? Okay. Bright. A bright day is a sunny day, right? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, there are a lot of other adjectives too, which we have not included here because this is the elementary. So elementary means basic. So we are learning the basic vocabulary for describing the weather. Okay, now try and pair up the words adjectives from 3 and the adjectives from 2. Can you pair up adjectives from 3 and 2? Okay, which can you put together? Look at the example. It's bright and sunny. Okay, very good. It's cold and rainy. Now, can you think of some more possible combinations? It's hot and sunny.
It's cool and foggy.
It's cool and foggy. Better to say cold and foggy, Sana. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay. Wet and rainy. It's wet and rainy. Very nice. Very good. Make some more combinations, people.
It's stormy and wet.
Go this way. It's wet and stormy. It's cold and stormy. Okay, go ahead. Some more. Which word will you use with foggy? Which adjective from 3 would you like to use with foggy? Normally, when it is foggy, it is cold and foggy. It is cold and foggy. Yes. Which word would you like to use with cloudy? Use from 3. Use from 3 now. We have taken one, rainy, from number 2. It's warm and cloudy. It's possible to say it's warm and cloudy. You're not complaining. You're not complaining. But you can say it's hot and cloudy too. Yeah? It's wet and cloudy. It's wet and cloudy. Very good. Yes, Padma, but you are putting the adjectives from 2 together. I asked you to pair up adjectives from 2 and 3 together. One adjective from 3, one adjective from 2. By the way, you're right. It could be windy and rainy at the same time. Yeah. Some more people? Afreen, Hina, please. Sabah. It's
Dry and
dry
cloudy.
and sunny. Dry and cloudy.
Yes, sir.
Bright and cloudy or dry and cloudy? What did you say?
Dry.
Obviously, it is possible. It could be dry and cloudy. It's possible, you know. All right. All right, guys. Make most natural combinations. Normally, it's rare that it will be dry and cloudy because it is wet and cloudy. What do you think? Normally, it is wet and cloudy. Yeah, but for rare cases, that's possible. Of course, you can think of that. But normally, it is wet and cloudy. Okay, guys. It can be hot and windy, and it can be cold and windy both. Isn't it? In January, it can happen both. नहीं बोलते वैसा English नहीं है. It is both are possible. Hot and windy and cold and windy. In January, in December, it's cold and windy, and in June and July, it's hot and windy. In May and June, it's hot and windy. Is it not? Loo, we call it. Okay, heat strokes. All right. Now, after learning all these three things, we are going to listen to that 11-point audio file again. Tell me if you understand this better now.
11.8. What's the weather going to be like?
And here's Carol with the weather forecast for Europe.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, at the moment, there's some wet and windy weather over the UK and Scandinavia.
Wet and windy weather over Scandinavia and UK.
And this is going to move to the east over Poland and Germany. Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are about 21 degrees Celsius right now. But it's cooler in London, more like 18 degrees, and cooler still in Oslo, around 17 there. Further east, it's cool and cloudy in Moscow, where the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees. After all the extreme summer heat there.
After all the extreme summer heat there, this was your clue that it is autumn season. It is autumn season. After all the extreme summer sunshine, summer heat. So after the summer heat, which weather is it? Which season is it? It is autumn season. Okay.
To the south, it's a bit warmer. 23 degrees in Budapest, and even warmer as we get further south, so 26 degrees in Rome. But it's going to be cloudy and showery across the north of Italy before long, so temperatures aren't going to stay as high there. In northern Turkey, there's some heavy rain, and it's already getting stormy. So temperatures won't get much higher than 21 degrees in Istanbul. France is going to be cool and cloudy in the north, 20 degrees in Paris, but much warmer and sunnier in the south, with a high of 27 degrees in Nice. The rest of the Mediterranean is going to be warm and dry too. Portugal and Spain will see plenty of late summer sunshine, with temperatures as high as 29 degrees in Madrid and Lisbon. It's going to be warmer still in Greece, and we're probably going to reach 30 degrees in Athens. And that's your European weather for the next 24 hours. I'll be back at lunchtime with an update.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Carol. Okay, so now I'll help you understand whatever they said in this audio file, okay? Let's try and do this without the audio script, okay? Line by line, guys. Ready for it?
And now, the news headline.
11.8. What's the weather going to be like?
And here's Carol with the
And here is Carol. And here is Carol. What was that? Oh, okay, maybe some bird or something hit the window. Perhaps, okay.
weather forecast for Europe.
And here is Carol with the weather forecast for Europe. Weather forecast. F-O-R-E-C-A-S-T. Forecast. So, weather forecast, you are telling what the weather is going to be like. So, when you make predictions about the weather, it's called weather forecast. Do you know the weather forecast for tomorrow? No. Do you know the weather prediction for tomorrow? No. So, forecast means prediction, but only in terms of weather we use, weather forecast. A very, very common collocation is weather forecast, okay? Weather forecast. Nowadays, news channels don't really give much time to weather news. When I was young, every news bulletin had a weather, bulletin, weather part, okay, where weather news section, where, on the radio, on TV as well. A pretty girl would come and tell us the weather forecast. Yeah, she would stand and behind her would be a map, and she would use a stick to show this. Yeah, we as kids liked it and hated it. Okay, we had mixed feelings about that weather news. Okay. Listen, nowadays weather forecast or weather news has become less important for most people because mostly the days are warm, hot, warm, like that. But earlier, especially in Europe, it is very important because the weather changes so much there, and weather is extreme. Sometimes there is snow, sometimes there is a hailstone, all these things. So those people have more interest in the weather news. Nowadays, notice there are so many news channels. How long do they spend on the weather news? Very little time. Very little time. They won't even have a person. They will have some music playing in the background, and they will show you the maps of India moving to Delhi, and they will put the temperature there and the symbol. That's it. And then they will go to Kolkata and they will show you the temperature. Nobody says anything. They don't even hire somebody to tell you the weather news nowadays because people don't take much interest. Sana Khan, weather news anchor. Wow, interesting. Let me Google, okay? Aaj Tak. AI weather news reporter Sana Khan. Okay. Aaj Tak AI weather news reporter Sana Khan. Okay.
Here are 24 years of my life in 30 seconds. I was born in Shimla but raised all over the country. Being a daughter of an army officer, I have lived most of my life in cantonments across India, which included some of the most Instagrammy locations you can imagine. Since childhood, I have been exposed to diverse cultures and traditions. I have a natural knack for picking up new languages. Today, I speak more languages than any news anchor in India. I like numbers, and somewhere along the way, I developed fascination for economics. After graduating in the subject from Delhi University, I worked with an advertising agency. It was a great job, but I wanted to do more than just service brands. That's why I applied for the job of a news anchor at Aaj Tak. I am so glad I aced the interview. Now, here I am, announcing one of the most exciting developments in television news. As the lead news anchor of Aaj Tak AI, I'm thrilled to bring my unique perspective to you every day. You are not just my audience, but a friend too. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will soon be addressing this special 20th edition of India Today conclave. Since I am multilingual, the news updates will be in several languages. Here are samples of just 3. प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी बहुत जल्द इंडिया टुडे के इस बेहद खास 20वें संस्करण को संबोधित करने वाले हैं। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी खूब शीघ्रई इंडिया
These people doing business, they know human psychology so very well and exploit it. Their anchors will never come wearing short skirts like her, because they know it will be controversial. Aaj Tak does not have one anchor who will wear short skirts like this AI news anchor. But because this is an AI news anchor, no, listen to me. Trust me, this is not the case. I know how they think. They know that if they ask a girl to dress like this, a real girl, it will be controversial for a news channel. So they won't ask girls to dress this way. But because this is an AI, they will give her a skirt, and they'll say it's not even a person. So what are you doing? They will put the blame on somebody complaining about it. Our culture is not such that we guys are going to be comfortable looking at a girl wearing short skirts, showing all her legs, reading the news. Do we see girls like this in our society? No. So when somebody like this is reading the news, we will be distracted by her long legs rather than paying attention to the news. But they are on purpose doing it with AI, so that if you complain, they can send some people after you to say that you are a bad person, that it is just an AI. It is, what do you call it? Basically, it is, क्या कहते हैं जिसको? AI means what? I know, but it is not a real person. It is what? Moving pictures means comics and animation. It is basically animation. And you are getting excited about animation. People will put this kind of blame on you. Okay. So they know that people will watch for this as well. Stupid. They exploit our, thinking, our emotions this way. This is so wrong. They should not do it. Huh? Yeah, exactly. They want more watch time. A lot of people will watch just for her long legs. That's it. Okay. Where were we? Okay, I was playing the audio for you, right? So the last line was, the first line was, here is Carol with the weather forecast for Europe for the next 24 hours.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. So this is a way to introduce someone. In India, if the newsreader invites the weather news reader, he will say, अब आपके सामने सना या अब आपके सामने XYZ आ रही हैं weather report के साथ, weather news के साथ, right? And in English, अब आपके सामने and all this, and here is Carol, and here is Carol. Suppose you are a host at on a stage, and you have to introduce the next performer. You can use the same line. And here is XYZ, right? Okay, with the weather news, with the weather forecast. And here is Carol with the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Thanks, Andrew.
Well, at the moment, there's some
Well, at the moment, now, there is some
wet and windy weather over the UK and
there is some wet and windy weather. Well, at the moment, there is some wet and windy weather. There is some wet and windy weather over the UK. Over the UK. So in Hindi, we will not say UK ke upar. Can we say that in Hindi? Does it sound good in Hindi? UK ke upar? We will say UK mein. अभी मौसम यूके में वेट एंड विंडी है, राइट? अगर थोड़ा बहुत ट्रांसलेट करूं तो यूके में वेदर, द वेदर ओवर द यूके. Okay, the weather, there is some wet and windy weather over the UK. Repeat the line. There is some wet and windy weather and Scandinavia. Over the UK and Scandinavia. Okay? Scandinavia is a region. It's a region, a Scandinavia region. Okay?
Scandinavia. And this is
make it a proper noun. It's a region, area. Okay? Some countries together make Scandinavia. Okay.
It's going to move to the east over.
And it is going to move to the east. It is going to move. What is going to move? The wet and windy weather. The wet and windy weather. The wet and windy weather is going to move to the east. Going to move to the east. Going to move to the east. East ki taraf chala jayega. Okay? The wet and windy weather is going to move to the east. It is going to move to the east. East means on your right side. When you नहीं, तुम जिधर से देख रहे हो ना, तुम्हारे right side. Let me tell you. This is the map. Okay. So when we are talking about London, the east means Berlin, Warsaw, Moscow. Okay. North means Oslo, upar. And south means Paris, Nice, Madrid. And southeast Istanbul. Southeast. किसी को भी ले लो center. Berlin को ले लो center. Okay. Berlin is center. Now Oslo is to the north of Berlin. Oslo is to the north of Berlin. And Moscow is to the north of Berlin. No, to the east of Berlin. Moscow is, देखो तुम जहां से देख रहे हो तुम्हारे दाएं साइड क्या दिख रहा है? बर्लिन के दाएं साइड मॉस्को दिख रहा है, राइट साइड. तो जो अभी अच्छा तुम बताओ मैप में ऊपर नीचे क्या कौन सा डायरेक्शन होता है? नहीं पता? ऊपर को नॉर्थ कहते हैं, नीचे को साउथ. तो अगर इंडिया होता तो यहाँ होता कश्मीर ऊपर में, नीचे होता केरला. तो केरला इज इन द साउथ and Kashmir is in the north of India. And here you will see Kolkata. Kolkata is in the east. And here you will see Gujarat. Gujarat is in the west. तो समझ गए? ऐसा समझने की कोशिश करो. Okay? East, west, north, south. In all maps, this is how it is. Okay? The directions are set. When you have a standard map, the upper side is north, and the downside is the, and the right is east, and the left is west. Okay. So the person said that there is some wet and windy weather at the moment over the UK and Scandinavia, and it is going to move to the south, to the east. It is going to move to the east. So wet and windy weather will travel to Berlin, to Warsaw in some days. It is going to travel to the east.
Poland and Germany.
Did you notice? To Poland and Germany, because Germany and Poland are to the east of the UK. Germany means Berlin, Poland means Warsaw. Okay, so these countries are to the east of the UK. So when the weather is moving, the wet and windy weather is moving to the east, it means Berlin and Warsaw are going to have wet and windy weather in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks, right? There is wet and windy weather today over the UK, not the UK, over the UK, all right? And then that wet and windy weather is traveling, moving to the east. So in some time, maybe in some days, maybe in some weeks, Berlin and Warsaw are going to experience wet and windy weather.
Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are about 21 degrees Celsius.
This sentence is a very basic sentence in English. Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are going to be 21 degrees Celsius. The temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are going to be 21 degrees Celsius. Okay, very simple sentence. Repeat the sentence. Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are going to be 21 degrees Celsius. There isn't a challenge, there isn't a grammar challenge, nothing. But there is something that you guys are not noticing right now. I believe that this is one of the reasons why students like you struggle with English all your lives. Because there are things that you don't notice on your own and nobody highlights them for you. In English, how do you translate the word temperature into Hindi? Tapman. Now, when you say Tapman, normally you don't consider Tapman countable in Hindi. आप कभी सुने तापमानो? नहीं ना? लेकिन अभी आप सुने temperatures, plural. Because we are talking about temperature in Berlin and temperature in Warsaw. So temperatures, plural temperatures. Temperature is a countable noun in English. And that's why we said temperatures are. Temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are going to be 21 degrees. Did you think about all these things? इतना सोचा था आपने रिपीट करते समय? नहीं सोचे थे ना? तो आप इसलिए कम सीखते हैं क्योंकि आप ये नहीं खपाते उसमें लगाते हो ना दिमाग, और वो मैं कोशिश करता हूं करवाने की, अगर आप मेरा साथ दो। टेम्परेचर इज ए काउंटेबल नाउन। खाली ये समझना है कि इंग्लिश में जो काउंटेबल है, देखिए अटकना चाहे टेम्परेचर पे, कॉन्सेप्ट पर ध्यान दें। In English, nouns are countable and uncountable. And it is not necessary what appears uncountable in Hindi will be uncountable in English. It is not necessary. It is not necessary what is countable in Hindi will be countable in English. It is not necessary, simple. So pay attention. When you read a noun in English, then pay attention. When you are reading a text or listening to a person speak English, and when they say a noun, then just ask yourself, did they use a countable noun or uncountable noun? Did they use a singular form or a plural form? And observe this. Maybe in 1 or 2 years' time, you will have enough observation that you will form your own rules, correct rules. You won't have to study them from a teacher. But because you listen to a word and you just translate it into your mother tongue and you forget about it, you don't ask whether it is a noun, whether it is a verb. If it is a noun, whether it is countable noun or uncountable. If it is countable, whether it is singular or plural. Who cares about these many things? That's how we fail to learn, things that we really need to know. Otherwise, we cannot be confident about our English. Look, you could have avoided all these things if you had learned English as a child. I normally, today I was young kids in the afternoon. I have a special batch for class 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th students. So there was a sentence, fish are pretty. Fish are easy to look after. Then a boy said fishes. And I knew why he said fishes. Because in his school, he studied the plural of fishes. This is the problem of the teacher, that the teacher taught him the wrong thing. Fishes is not the plural of fish. The plural. Yes. And the fisherman story. A person with a good memory like you can learn anything and everything. See, I explained that the plural of fish is fish. When you're talking about types of fish, then you say fishes. But the teacher won't say all these things and will teach you the plural of fish is fishes. So he was saying fishes are pretty. I said, no, fish are pretty. Because we are talking about the plural. मछलियां खूबसूरत होती हैं, मछलियां सुंदर दिखती हैं. Fish are pretty. Okay. So similarly, temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are going to be 21 degrees centigrade.
right now. But it's
Right now.
cooler in London.
But it's cooler in London. But it's cooler in London. Cooler means cooler, the device. We are talking about comparative adjective. Okay, the temperatures in Berlin and Warsaw are 21 degrees, but it's cooler in London. It means London is not 21 degrees. Is more than 21 degrees or less than 21 degrees? Because the word is cooler, not hotter, not warmer. Okay, but it's cooler in London.
More like 18 degrees.
More like 18 degrees. So the temperature in London is going to be 18 degrees in next 24 hours.
And cooler still in Oslo.
And cooler is still in Oslo. This use of still, I tell you, okay, nobody you know, most probably, okay, 99.99% chances are nobody you know will understand this use of still. The problem with English is words have multiple meanings, and most of us, teachers included in it, are aware of some meanings of the word, not all. Why? Lack of exposure. If I hear a word in one context all the time, then I will become aware of that meaning only. But if I hear that word in 10 different contexts with 10 different meanings, then I will become aware of all the 10 possible meanings of that word. So the more your exposure is, the more you know. So the sentence was, and it is cooler still in Oslo, 17 degrees. Oslo में और ज्यादा ठंडा है. ऐसी हिंदी में आएगी ना बात. Oslo में और ज्यादा ठंडा है. It's cooler still in Oslo, 17 degrees. यहाँ दूसरे तरीके से बोलें, it's even cooler in Oslo. It's, जैसे मैं एक दूसरा एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ. Suppose a girl came into the class and she's very beautiful. We started talking about her looks, that, oh, wow, she's so beautiful and all. Then she says, my elder sister is more beautiful than me. My elder sister is more beautiful than me, she says, okay? And she said, and my mother, she's even more beautiful. मतलब आप समझ रहे ना? हाँ जी. पहले तो more beautiful उसने कहा, my sister is more beautiful than me. And then she says, my mother, she is even more beautiful than both of us. Okay, she's even more beautiful. तो even जैसे बोला है ना, उस even का जगह आप still बोल सकते हो order change करके. My mother is नहीं, more beautiful still order change करके बोलना पड़ता है. क्या बोलना पड़ता है? My mother is more beautiful still. Okay, let me explain again. What happened? The situation, you know. First, she said, my sister is more beautiful than me. And my mom, she is more beautiful still. It means और ज़्यादा सुंदर है. ठीक है? तो आप ये जो सेकंड बार चांस में जाते हैं ना, इवन मोर वाले में, वहां पे आप लाओगे स्टिल, लेकिन ऑर्डर चेंज करके. अगेन, suppose I tasted my, let's say, chicken, and I said, my God, it's hot. It's very hot. I can't eat it. And then let me taste yours. Oh, it is hotter. तुम्हारा तो मेरा से भी ज्यादा गरम नहीं, sorry, तीखा है. All right, yours, yeah, spicier. So yours is hotter than mine. Okay, taste mine. किसी और ने कहा मेरा वाला टेस्ट करो. मैंने उसको टेस्ट किया. Oh my God, it's hotter still. मतलब it's even hotter. ये तो और ज्यादा है. तो देखा कैसे हम लोग गए वहां पर. अगर आप कहते हैं किसी और से जाकर पूरे, मैं कहता हूँ बहुत विनम्रता से आपको, ये नहीं कि मैं बहुत ज्यादा जानता हूँ, मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे सोचने और समझने की, मेरी नॉलेज लिमिटेड है. आई एग्री, बिकॉज आई एम अ बिहारी पर्सन. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि लोग ना स्टिल का एक मीनिंग याद कर लेते हैं, जैसे आई एम स्टिल योर फ्रेंड. हाँ, तो अभी तक ले जाएंगे मीनिंग, वो उसके अलावा कहीं नहीं जा पाएंगे. ऐसे कई इंटरेक्शंस मेरे हैं, क्योंकि मैं बहुत ही, आपको पता है ना, अब मैं उम्र दराज हो गया तो थोड़ा सा छोड़ देता हूँ, जाने दो, मुझे मतलब नहीं लोगों से. बट आप लोग छोड़ते हो क्या? आप लोग ऐसा सोच रखते हो मुझे मतलब नहीं? आप लोग उलझ जाते हो, राइट? So usually young people have that attitude, na? They don't give a about what people will say. They care, right? They just want to live their way. So when I was younger, na, I didn't mind. मैंने कहा तुम कम जानते हो तो मैं तुम्हें बताऊंगा तुम कम जानते हो. Especially people who pretended to be knowledgeable, teachers and all. Okay, so I used to get into some sort of argument and stuff with them. So there was this teacher from Delhi. It was not his fault. It was his student's fault. He tried to make me feel, sir, मेरे साथ बहुत जानते हैं. तो मैंने भी उलझ के उसको बोल दिया कि ज्यादा जानते हैं, लो जाओ पूछो ये वाला. ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस सब उलट पलट हो रहा है. मैंने कहा लो हो गया, समझ में आ गया. तो एटीट्यूड मेरा उस समय, क्योंकि आई वाज यंगर ना, यंग पीपल हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड, स्पेशली आई डेफिनेटली डिड. बट नाउ आई डोंट केयर. मुझे पता है मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, कुछ नहीं. मेरे सामने बस इतना है कि जो मेरे सामने उसको मैं सिखाने की कोशिश करूं. ठीक है, तो आपने सीखा हाउ टू यूज द वर्ड स्टिल विद अ कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव. गौर करिए, ये स्टिल किसके साथ आया? कंपैरेटिव एडजेक्टिव के साथ. इट्स कूलर स्टिल इन ऑस्लो. इट्स कूलर स्टिल. ऑर्डर क्या है ये देखो, स्टिल कहां आता है? आफ्टर द एडजेक्टिव. इट्स कूलर स्टिल इन ऑस्लो. ऑस्लो में तो और ठंडा है. कितना? 17 degrees. So 21 to 18, now to 17 degrees.
Around 17 there. Further east, it's
Further east. अच्छा देखो further words में ना. You have already studied unit 9 comparative adjectives. So with far, what is the comparative of far? Further. Tall, taller. Rich, richer. Beautiful, more beautiful. But there are some irregular ones. Good, better. Bad, worse. Far, further. So we are already talking about the east, na? Berlin and Warsaw. Go further east. Matlab, which country? Moscow, right? So further east, it means now she's going to talk about Moscow. We can predict. Our eyes should move to Moscow because she said further east.
cool and cloudy in Moscow.
It's cool and cloudy in Moscow. Further east, it's cool and cloudy in Moscow. और ईस्ट की तरफ चलें, हिंदी में ऐसे बोलना पड़ता है. और ईस्ट की तरफ चलें तो मॉस्को में cool and cloudy होगा वेदर. In English, further east, if you go further east, अगर आप चाहें तो बोल दें, ऐसे जरूरी नहीं है. Further east, it's cool and cloudy in Moscow.
Where the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees.
Where the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees. The temperature is a welcome 15 degrees. And now listen to this.
After all the extreme summer heat there.
After all the extreme summer heat there. Now, does it make sense to use the word welcome there? Why the word welcome was used? No, you're not getting it. Where the welcome is, yes, the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees. It is possible that in some places, when the temperature is 15 degrees, people will be unhappy about it. It is possible or not? It is possible that in some places, people will complain when the temperature is 15 degrees. But people in Moscow are not complaining right now that the temperature is 15 degrees. The temperature is a welcome 15 degrees. It means people are happy about this temperature because of the all extreme summer heat. It means earlier it was very hot and now the temperature is 15 degrees. People are saying good, 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 right? Yeah, welcome, welcome. It's good. So, okay, tell me. It's a cricket match. Okay, there is a cricket match being played. The match is being played in Sri Lanka. It's India versus Sri Lanka. Virat Kohli has been batting. Okay, for 28 deliveries, no boundary. Single, single, dot, single. Okay, and then Virat Kohli hits a boundary. Okay, it's a welcome boundary from Indians' perspective or Sri Lankans' perspective? Indians' perspective, right? It's a welcome boundary after 28 deliveries gap, right? Okay. So Anything is welcome. If you put the word welcome before some noun, then it means it is something you're happy about. Okay. So welcome boundary here. Welcome 15. The temperature is welcome 15 degrees. Okay. It means people are happy with this temperature. They're not complaining about it. A word appears just like that. And if we translate the word welcome into swagat, then we don't appreciate the meaning. To appreciate the meaning, we don't need the Hindi. We need to understand that after all the extreme summer heat, she added, after all the extreme summer heat, extremes, huh? I don't care, honestly. You know, whatever Hindi you want to say, which convinces you, you're fine. Hindi is your mother tongue, okay? So I don't have to give you any feedback that you're right, you're not right. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. I trust you. Hindi is your mother tongue. If you are translating it into Hindi, after appreciating it in English, you can't be wrong. That's for sure. So I'm trying to help you appreciate it in English. Once you appreciate the meaning, you know exactly what it means, you can translate it in any way you want, and I won't mind, because I know that word was not right, you know, vibrant is not the right word. It didn't sound right at all, okay? People are happy about it. Let's simply say people are relieved. People are relieved. People are relieved because they experienced extreme summer heat. Do you understand the expression? Extreme summer heat means very hot temperature. Extreme summer heat. Okay. So after the extreme summer heat, the temperature is a welcome 15 degrees. Okay. Some people think that, oh, I didn't understand what the teacher explained. I didn't understand what exactly welcome was. I want to say to all those people who don't know everything what I'm saying in the class, you guys are lucky that you are sitting here. Even though you don't understand me fully, if you understand what I'm saying at least, okay? If you understand my language, you are doing exactly what you need to do to improve your English. I don't think there was even one day in this class when you understood 100% of what I said. You know, no students can say that they ever understood me 100%. Whether it is Sana, whether it is Sabha, whether it is Hina, whether it is Musharraf, Padma, nobody will say, Shams, Gulafsa, nobody will say, you guys cannot say that I understood everything, every word you said, every structure. You will never claim that. I'm 100% sure of it. You will always say that I understood what you were saying, but I didn't understand every word you used. I didn't know every structure you used, but I understood what you were saying, maybe. If that is the case, then this is exactly what I want. I know it is not possible for you, It is not possible for my learners to appreciate every word I use, every structure I use, but I want you to just appreciate the message. And you should be happy about it, that you appreciate the message. If you understand that if you understood this much, that people in Moscow are happy about the 15 degrees, then you're fine. If you understand that they're happy because in the past, a few days ago, it was very hot there, then you're fine. Okay? Because that is my whole purpose. I sit here talking to you in English like this, just to give you that exposure which you never had in your life. You know, a person talking to you in English for 90 minutes a day. 45 minutes would have been more than enough since your childhood, you know, but you were not lucky enough to have it. Despite going to English medium schools, I challenge and ask you, can anyone claim that I had a teacher who sat like you and talked to us on different topics in English and we appreciated what he was saying? If you want to make that claim, Huh? The problem there is, I'm not trying here to take credit for having knowledge of all different subjects now. I'm just trying to take credit for one thing, that I'm giving you exposure to the English language the right way. My sentences are most often natural sentences, the way they should come out of anybody's mouth, anyone who speaks English. There are times when I'm a non-native speaker, so I end up saying something which is not very natural, which is okay, because I've never lived in America or the US or anything, the UK, I mean, and I've never studied in an English medium school all my life. So I know there are times when I speak not very natural form of English sentences, but most times the English that I speak is natural, and you guys benefit from that listening only. So whether you appreciate it or not, the use of welcome there is fine, is irrelevant. Okay, that's a bonus point. The main thing that you came here for was the ability to learn the English language, and that is happening. That process is on as long as you're paying attention to my words. I know this sounds very tricky, all these explanation, and I have realized that even teachers and good students do not appreciate the process. You guys are not aware of the process that ensures your learning. You guys make it very, I will say, huh? That's what I'm trying to do to you guys. And most of my students think of it in a very superficial way. But I want to tell you something. This speaking that I speak with you is not my practice. You're wrong to say that. This is my challenge. This is my test. When I speak to you guys, you have no idea that in my mind, I'm always busy planning my sentences so that it comes out that way that is easy for you to appreciate. When I talk to people from other countries in an informal conversation, then I just speak. But with you guys, I am constantly worrying to keep my sentences simple and easy for you. I try and use the structures which are the most easy to follow. And when I happen to say something like I did right now, when I, coincidentally say something which is difficult, then I realize it, and then I try and explain it in English. I talk about the same expression in other words with the help of other phrases so that you guys appreciate what I'm saying. So for you, the only thing that you really need to do is just pay attention. What are you saying? Okay, okay. That's all. To the best of your ability.
To the south, it's a bit warmer.
Moving to the south, it's a bit warmer. Moving to the south, it's a bit warmer. When we move to the south, it's a bit warmer. Okay, so which cities are going to be warmer? Nice, Rome, Budapest, Athens, Istanbul, because we are moving south, downwards.
23 degrees in Budapest.
23 degrees in Budapest. It's warmer, 2 degrees warmer.
And even warmer as we get.
Even warmer, like warmer still? Even warmer as we
get further south. So
go
20
further south. As we go further south. तो बताओ बेटा, अगर किसी के सामने बोलना हो और दक्षिण तो कैसे बोलेंगे इंग्लिश में? Go further south. थोड़ा और आगे जाओ ना, go further ahead. Go further ahead. थोड़ा और आगे जाओ ना, go further ahead. All right? तो ये डिस्टेंस के मामले में से बात करें, थोड़ा और आगे जाना, थोड़ा और आगे, go further ahead. Go further. वो तो अलग हो गया, तो वोकैबुलरी को अप्रिशिएट करिए, वो बोल सकते, क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? ये अलग फ्रेज, हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि इसके बदले वो नहीं आ सकता. मैंने एक फ्रेज को अप्रिशिएट करने के लिए कहा, वो तो है, keep going south, okay, towards the south, keep going to the south, all right, no problem. यहाँ उसने कहा मूविंग टू द फर्दर साउथ, अब यहाँ कैसे बोलेंगे? ठीक है, तो यहाँ फर्दर साउथ की जरूरत है ना। ओके, आई थिंक आई कैन रैप अप नाउ, वी विल कैरी ऑन। बाय बाय एवरीबॉडी, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।
Bye, sir.
Try and write the audio script if you can.
Bye, sir.
Try and write the audio script if you can. I'll put the audio file in the group. Okay, bye.